In She Red Shotgun, Taron Egerton escorts Ana Sophia Heger to prominence in this father-daughter crime drama with notable action scenes and the type of heart that is possibly going to make you cry. To summarize the movie, Nathan has had a very troubled life, and it seems it has led to the murder of his ex, and now the people whom he has upset are even willing to take out their frustrations against him on his 9-year-old daughter named Polly. Now, to the best of his abilities, Nathan is trying to prevent his daughter from dying the same kind of death that her mother did, but he is one man versus what increasingly feels like an incalculable number of people who, with being given a green light by their boss, are allowed to wipe out not only Nathan, but seemingly his whole lineage, genealogy, and pretty much anyone he has ever loved on top of that. So throughout the movie, what we watch is Nathan try to escape and eventually come to the point where he realizes the only way to escape is to eventually cut the head off the snake. So getting to the review portion, first and foremost, you're going to get emotionally invested when it comes to the story. For even though the basis of the movie is that Nathan screwed up and people are dying because of him, and it doesn't really go beyond that, Egerton and Hager have the type of chemistry required for you to get over the minimal details provided. They create a believable father-daughter relationship where even if they are strange, for Hager as Polly, she really knows how to, probably because she's near that age, to tap into this 9-year-old with a very complicated relationship with her dad. Because does she find him scary? Absolutely, especially as the news reports come out about what he allegedly did. But even with him going to jail and her being aware of that, there's still this connection that, this is your dad, this is your father, and you can tell this is this part of her that wants to believe him that he didn't do the bad things that the news reports say he did. And you want to see her even forgive him for all the times that he wasn't there. And it's through the willingness to forgive him, to reconcile, and even want to help him and show her value that you continually just build this love and admiration for Polly and her actress in extension. But at the same time, considering what's going on, Nathan's handling of Polly helps Egerton sort of transition into becoming a believable dad in future roles. And as he gives you that full spectrum of annoyed, worried, thankful, and also trying to protect Polly's innocence, while doing a hell of a lot of legal things around her, while I would say that Hager is the one who benefits the most because she's fairly new, there's no denying that Egerton is still not also getting something out of this film besides being put on the headline and being reminded that even if his career hasn't been as big as it used to be when he was playing Elton John and of course the Kingsman, he still is a notable act that people believe can put butts into seats. Which leads to the next highlight, and that's just considering that Nathan is not a veteran, doesn't have any kind of special training, it makes what the ending gives you acceptable. Now, is it necessarily the ending you may want? No, but you have to remember, the people that Nathan are going against multiple times in the film take Polly, swing her around bash her into a door or something, use her for a potential shield so that they can shoot at people. So if they're willing to do that, what is Nathan? Never mind, Nathan's also doing all this in the South. He tries to rob a convenience store and gets shot at by some vigilante type. So in many ways, Nathan, Polly, they had so much going up against them that to expect the perfect ending would be very unrealistic, which is why, considering the compromise that the film presents, is it going to be something that you'll love and adore? Absolutely not. But it's the type of compromise which you can accept in a way that makes it so you're not hating that you spent nearly 2 hours with these characters and this is what you're left with. That said, the only on-the-fence topic for us is just the missing details when it comes to this film. And granted, this is just be a me thing. In terms of character development, She Rides Shotgun is much more of a tell than a show type of film. In terms of Nathan talking about his brother who got him into all this trouble originally when they were growing up, who we don't see at all. We never get to see Nathan's ex, Polly's mom, and see that dynamic to kind of get an idea of what happened there. It's all a lot of Nathan telling Polly things and then technically telling us at the same time, or Polly conveying things like how her stepdad was. And in many ways, you get it. When it comes to action films, it's a need to know basis. Everything's about setting up the next scene when it comes to guns blazing, car chases, whatever. But in And granted, with the way that Heger and Egerton are in this film, you could easily forgive not giving us extra details because they create the heart through the performance. But it still kind of bugs me, and I think could have took this film a little bit further to the point where you would have really been crying if they was able to develop things a little bit more when it came to Nathan's relationship with his older brother, especially because of how complicated that relationship in itself is. Never mind, kind of give us a bit more insight into Polly's relationship with her dad, beyond, him just popping up and taking her from school after what happened to her mother. Overall, when it comes to She Rides Shotgun, Taron Egerton does more than just earn being a huge name on a poster. What he does as he works with Ana Sophia Heger is truly usher her into being a star. For in many ways, this almost feels like a little bit like Leon the Professional, with John Reno and Taron Egerton being similar in terms of, the father figure, and then Natalie Portman being similar to Ana Sophia Heger, just with less training to be some type of killer. But the main focus here is the dynamic, the surprising performance from a child actor, and this feeling that what you're seeing is a breakout role, which is going to set the foundation for everything that comes later until they start really get into like young adult and full adult roles where they start gathering accolades, really gathering notable performances, and truly becoming the star that from this point it seems like they're going to be.